plaintiff, Corey Shambo, started dating the defendant when she was 18 and he was 31. But they broke up after their son was born. Corey claims the defendant is not a good father, and she's suing him for car damages. Defendant Tommy Pompicello says after Corey started dating her current boyfriend, he was forced to take emergency primary custody after Corey's boyfriend assaulted her when she was pregnant.
Start with you.
This is my ex-boyfriend. We started dating in 2005. I was 18, he was 31. About a year and a half later, I got pregnant, and we broke up when my son was born. And he never really stepped up to the plate as a father. And I started dating my current boyfriend when my son was a year and a half. My son's 6 now.
You pay his child support at least?
He doesn't pay child support. He took me for custody in 2010, and we were ordered to joint custody.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was no child support. However, it was joint, and I did not receive any joint financial help at all. And he didn't fulfill his joint schedule. So my son was left with babysitters on his time, and all his activities have always been paid by me.
And you had to pay for it, obviously.
Yes.
Did you go back to court about it?
I did. In December 2012, I filed a motion to amend our order, and it was approved. He didn't respond to it, and
now he has to pay it?
now he does have to pay. He's ordered to pay child support dating back to December.
Okay.
And he hasn't fulfilled that either. And I do have primary custody from that order change.
All right.
So on February 3rd, we were exchanging my son at our designated location. And
You're getting into the car damage now?
yes, this is leading
What
to the
year
car
was
damage. 2013.
All right. Let me get some background from you before we get to the specifics of the car damages.
First of all, joint custody. The court ordered that we split everything down the middle. When my son was with me, I paid everything. And when he was with her, she paid everything. As far as primary custody, I had to take primary custody from my ex.
They granted that to you?
Yeah.
Let me have that,
And
please,
this is what I
Dora.
said.
You were granted primary
custody.
Is that true?
Never.
And for good reason, sir.
There was an ex parte motion that he had custody primary for like 13 days back
And then
almost
when the
4
hearing
years
came,
ago. Then it was joint.
All right.
It was never.
No, Your Honor.
You said you got
primary.
an expert. What do you have? You have something to show that?
After mediation, which came many months later, then we went to joint
Did
custody.
you get an ex parte order, meaning
I
you
got the
got
ex
it when
parte.
you went by yourself without
Yes.
her being able to defend herself? Is that a yes?
Yes.
All
Yes, Your
right.
Honor.
So, yeah, it's easy to get an order when the other party isn't there to defend themselves.
Well, when
And all you have to do is tell the judge that there's a threat of their safety. You say, Judge, I got an ex parte emergency request for a motion to remove my child from that house and give me primary custody because my child is in danger. Judge is going to routinely grant that. Boom.
I didn't have to say a word. Action.
Oh, how did the judge know? Judge knew you personally?
The first piece of paper I gave you, Your
I
Honor.
don't have to look at anything. You tell me.
Well,
how did you not have to say a word to the judge? What is it that this indicates?
That her current, and he was her boyfriend at the time, he did substantial bodily harm to her while she was pregnant with my son's little brother.
Okay. And so, yes, if you presented this article and you then presented a motion asking for primary custody, yeah, a judge would grant it, and then they would later have a hearing where she is allowed to defend herself. Did that occur?
That occurred.
And what happened at that hearing?
It went to mediation, and we split custody.
So joint custody.
Joint
And the
custody.
only way you got primary custody, did you still have the article when you got joint?
Yeah.
Okay, so even though you had the article, you didn't get primary.
Okay.
I'm asking, that's a question.
You're correct.
Okay. Go ahead. So you're saying that
So,
you obtained primary custody for a little while because you went to court without her knowledge and presented an article. But then when you went back to court with her knowledge and you all began to debate the issue, you still had your article.
Actually, I presented a police report, not an article.
But you still didn't get primary.
I held on to primary custody for a few
No.
months.
Ultimately, when the hearing and the mediation and all that occurred, and you presented a police report now, not just an article, you had articles, police reports, all of that. And they said no primary custody, didn't they?
I didn't want primary custody.
What were you there for then?
I wanted
That's
my-
exactly what you
I
said you
wanted my
wanted,
son-
sir. Sir, you told me you wanted primary custody. That's why we're going through this, back and forth.
We're going through this to prove I am
No,
not a
the
bad
discussion
father
you and
to
I
my
are
son.
having is because
Okay.
you said you wanted primary custody. You went and got an emergency order for primary custody, and now when we debated and I win the debate, you say you didn't want primary custody. Your credibility is totally ruined.
I had to
And you're
take
talking
primary
contemptuous.
custody.
Get the hell out of my court. You got that? Contempt of court. Judgment for the plaintiff. Who you think you're talking to?
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm going to keep being a good dad to my son, and she's going to keep fighting me every step of the way.